Okay everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel today. For this video today, I just wanted to just do a quick video. As everyone will probably know by now, I've not had my pedals for my T500 as they broke and they were getting repaired. They've actually just arrived back today, so we can get back onto streaming etc as soon as possible and get the videos back coming in for all the different games, Project Cars 2, Assetto Corsa and Gran Turismo etc. Really start getting them videos rolling again. But the first day that I didn't have my pedals, I actually just had a very quick hour and a half, 2 hours go on the pad. It's the only time I went back on the game with the pad because I'm more of a wheel player. I used to play on the pad about 10 years or so ago, maybe longer. But I don't really enjoy the playing on the pad as much as I do a wheel, obviously with the immersion etc. But what I wanted to do was just test out the game very quickly, as I see a lot of people saying, oh, I'm going to spend £200 on a wheel because I think it's going to make me as fast as the top people. I think this is an illusion that people need to get in the head. It's just not going to happen. What I'm going to do in this video is just show you very quickly how a pad works on a player. I think, I'm not the best pad player. I obviously haven't played on the pad for a long time. And basically it's just you'll see in my movements I'm very jerky because I'm not used to it. I think I forgive myself. If I had played on a pad for a good month or so solidly, I'd be very much as I'd probably be as close as can be to the wheel, probably matching identical. Some tracks would be faster, I actually think, because GT feel very optimized for the pad. This is a little consistency test I did. It was in the qualifying phase of the sport mode. We'd already done a lap on this track previously, about a week before it was on the same track, and we managed to get 16.2. It was my first time on the track, and this is my second time on the track, but the first time on a pad, so we're still not going to be fully up to speed. But I wanted to just do a consistency test and put 3 laps together on a pad to see how fast I could do 3 laps consistently. So you're going to see here now, I'm going to leave it playing for 3 laps. What I've also done after these 3 laps is we're going to compare our wheel lap to our pad lap, both on screen at the same time, and just show you how competitive the pad actually is. I think it comes down more to actual ability of skill of knowing how fast you can take corners. It's not necessarily which method of playing the game is fast. As you can see there, we go over line on our lap one of a 16.5. Our best lap on the wheel was a 0.2, so we're about 3 tenths off our best lap at the moment. And this was more about consistency. What I found with while driving on the pad was you seem to get a lot more front end grip and then a lot more grip at the rear end when accelerating out of corners compared to a wheel. You're going to see it when we compare the laps, how I have to correct a lot more on the wheel than I do on the pad. It's quite interesting to actually watch them back whilst playing together. It's just something I picked up on when I was actually editing this video, at the way that you could see on some corners I had to correct, and I wasn't able to just keep the steering wheel in one angle like you can with the pad. It's obviously they've wanted to make the pad as competitive as possible because they know there are a lot of pad players, and they wanted to make it probably. I actually think it's fairly equal. I don't think the pad's got an advantage, but I don't think the wheel has got an advantage. And this is basically the point I want to make about people that you hear a lot of people saying, oh, I need to go and buy myself a £200 wheel just to be competitive. That is not the reason to buy a wheel, in my view. I think the reason you want to buy a wheel is because you want to be more immersed, you want to feel like you're actually driving a lot more, you want to learn more about driving, then that's the reason to buy a wheel. Don't buy a wheel because you think that it's going to instantly make you faster. I would say the transition from a wheel to a pad is a lot easier if you've got the knowledge than going from a pad to a wheel. I remember when I started out first on the wheel, it wasn't instant. I couldn't just go onto a wheel and just pull off laps away. It took me a good few weeks to start getting used to it, getting used to the way you throttle inputs. It's not like driving a car, there's differences etc. With the force feedback, it's learning the way these wheels give force feedback. It's the same with when you try a new wheel out, you have to learn the force feedback etc. You can see our lap 2 again was pretty much identical to our first lap also there if you look on that right hand corner. So we matched our lap time again, so you can really see the consistency. So that's a big point I want to make, is don't buy a wheel if you just want to be faster on Gran Turismo. On other games you definitely will be faster on a wheel, like Assetto Corsa, you are going to be faster. project cars, you more likely will be faster on a wheel. Pads are still optimized to a certain extent, and some people are able to get them out, the times out, but not as easily as a wheel, I would say. So them games, yeah, wheel 100%, but for Gran Turismo Sport, as you can see there, our lap 3 was identical. It's pretty much similar. So what we're going to do now, we're going to do a side-by-side comparison here now. Okay, so as you can see, on the left we've got our wheel lap, on the right is our pad lap, and on the right, we're actually running the pad sound at the moment. So first thing you can see, going through this corner, you can have a look at the left hand side of the wheel, the extra movements I'm having to put in on the steering wheel compared to the pad on the right hand side. You can really see there's more movements needed and faster movements. Even going into this left hander now, in the braking, you're going to see us left hand, then we're going to have to be quick to go to the right hand side to catch the rear end. On the pad, it just feels a lot smoother, and like you don't have to be as fast at reacting. Like again there, you can see I had to be really fast with the wheel to catch any looseness on the rear. The pad didn't really need to be so bad. And then again, this is all very similar. We're going to cross over to the wheel sound now. Also, you would have heard going through that first sector the way I'm having to like tap the accelerator more so on the pad. That's where with the wheel the throttle control is a little bit easier, but even though it still feels looser on the wheel, which is really strange. Then going to the last corner, we actually made a slight error on the pad. We didn't carry enough speed. We were actually, I think going through the split, we were only a 10th down on our wheel lap, but then we lost a 10th on that last corner, which again, considering this was our first go on the pad, I think it really just shows you over the line just the slightest difference there as we go over the line. Hardly any difference between them two laps at all. So it really does show you that you know, if all you want from Gran Turismo, I'm not mentioning other games, this is just for Gran Turismo. If all you want it is to be as fast as you can, don't think the wheel is going to gain you a second to 2 seconds and stuff. It just won't. It's not going to happen. You may find that you enjoy the experience and your consistency gets better as you get more used to the wheel, and you might gain a 10th or 2, but I don't think it's ever going to be more than that. I actually felt like if I would have carried on with the pad, that's all I did was the 2 hours, because I just don't really get as into the games when I'm racing on a pad as I do with a wheel. I enjoy using the wheel so much more, and I'm so glad we've got our pedals back so we can get back onto the action with the wheel. But I just don't think it's worth spending if you're not bothered about immersion, I wouldn't waste £200 in my view. If you want the immersion and that feeling of racing that you get when you're battling with other people, and you feel like you're driving a car more, so then the £200 is 100% worth it. You will not go wrong. And also, if you want it for other racing games, yeah, 100% wheel all day, because Assetto Corsa, other games like that, iRacing, a wheel is essential for them games, but not so for GT Sport, I don't think, at the moment anyway. If something happens in the future and they add some patches in to try and change some things, because I think they need to, if I'm brutally honest. I felt like the pad was a little bit too easy, but that's just my opinion. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and make sure you give it a thumbs up and sub if you haven't already. I'll be back with more videos very soon. Thanks again.